Oh, howdy everyone. I'm a little early because I want to make sure I'm able to work. What you want? What you want? You want to say hi to everyone? Say hi. Hi, beautiful. Nina wants to say hi to everyone. She's going crazy right now. She's going crazy. Welcome. Hi, Stepner. Welcome to True CRIMERELI Live, bitches. We are here. Dylan. So, thank you everyone who's joining in right now. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. I've decided, along with Dylan and Stebner, that we're going to do things very differently for season 2. We are going to be going live once a week and doing these episodes live. So we get to hear you and, answer all the questions you guys have on the spot, because that's fucking awesome. So this is the first episode. From now on, everything's going to be live. We're going to be discussing a few things tonight, just kind of like warming up, letting you guys know what we're doing. What's the deal? And then next week we'll get into an episode, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But also, we'll continue that later. But I want to start the show tonight, this episode, with a little bit of a reading from my favorite book, Richard Ramirez, The Night Stalker. It is June 1st, and if you didn't know, it's going to be 10 years of Richard Ramirez's death next week, June 7th, 10 years. So I want to read a little thing from his book. If you don't have it, you should read it, because I think it's fucking important that you do, especially if you're watching my fucking show. Okay? Thanks. Anyways, so I'm just going to randomly get a page. Let's see. Here we go. The jury selection was a slow, tedious process. It bored Richard, and he soon began falling asleep. He stayed up late at night reading and would be tired for court. Judge Tynan didn't like his sleeping and warned him to stay awake. Richard took to wearing large black Porsche-type sunglasses, also bought by Doreen, so he could close his eyes behind them. Toward the end of July, Richard reportedly told the sheriff's deputy that he was going to have one of his girls sneak a gun into the courtroom, and he was going to shoot Halpin to death. Then people in the audience, then himself. Security was already tight, but the bailiffs took Ramirez's alleged threat seriously, set up metal detectors, and searched everyone coming into the courtroom. On August 2nd, Halpin entered court in a huff, angry that he had been searched in front of 80 prospective jurors. I was forced to remove most of my clothing while standing in the hall surrounded by jurors. It seemed a strange approach to search the district attorney, but not prospective jurors. Your Honor, Judge Tynan apologized for Halpin's embarrassment. Richie was known to wear his sunglasses in court. A lot of people said that he was sleeping, but I think he just wanted to look cool and just not give a fuck about that. So, and his theory of him trying to shoot down people and then himself, nice try, Richie. Nice try. But I don't think it was going to go so down so easily, but it was the 80s. Things could go down in court a little bit more easier than they can do now. But yeah, that's my random pages of the day. I will be doing this every week from random true crime books that I have, because I have a lot. So let me know what you guys are interested. Yes, Brandon with the book. I love it. So I want to say thank you for the last season. Hi, my love. Hi, Emily. So last season went great. We did a lot of work for it. You guys love the Richard Ramirez episodes and the Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer, and I really appreciate it. But I felt that there was a missing something missing from the show that I felt that it was very important, and that was you guys. And I think you guys had a lot of questions that you wanted me to answer, especially in the Richard Ramirez episodes, that I just couldn't get to everyone. So, Stebner and Dylan and we all sat down and we said, what is the best route for this? How can we answer you guys' questions? And also, spread awareness about, why I do this and why we talk about these things in the childhood. And we all came to the conclusion that I think that it's important to go live. And I think that being able to do this Instagram live and having you guys be interactive and show support and ask your questions and have us answer it right here on the spot and debate and discuss and disagree on certain things, I think it's awesome. I think it's great. I think that's the best opportunity. I don't think you can find that in a lot of podcasts. So why not start here? Why not start with true crime? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about what we're going to kind of just jump into this season. I do really want to start this season with an episode of Samuel Little. Samuel Little, I started reading a little bit about, and Dylan has a lot of knowledge about him. And hi, Mom. Of course I remember you. Hi, Nora. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Samuel Little, very interesting serial killer, very interesting case. I do want to film this one particularly because there's footages and there's locations that we would like to show. So that one might be one of those like we have to pre-record. But there might be a little bit surprises in that. But I do want to talk about him a bit today on this episode. And I do want to answer some of your questions as well. And if you have, any opinions of what you guys want to do, oh my God, please. This is what True CRIMERELI Live is all about from now on. Hi, Cherry. So yeah, Samuel Little. And by the way, this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to get my handy dandy computer, right? And I'm on the spot finding shit about Samuel Little as I'm talking to you because I think that's even fucking cooler. I think so. So Samuel Little is reported to have killed over 100 women in like 19 different states. And if I'm wrong, Dylan, please correct me because Dylan's about to get on in about like 5 minutes. So don't you worry. But the curious thing about him that got my attention, and one of the reasons why I do want to talk about him, is because he literally remembered by memory, and he drew every victim of his to the T. So they were able to identify the victims because of his photographic memory, and he drew them all, and which is mind-blowing to me because this man, by the time they caught him, he was already old. I think he was like in his 60s, 70s. So that to me was impressive. Also, why did he do it? What was it about? He was killing prostitutes. He was killing ladies that were out there. Why did he do it? It goes back to childhood. So there's a lot of things that I want to discuss about Samuel Little, but I don't want to talk about it today because I think that has to be pre-recorded. But all of you guys that are here right now, why is photographic memory so unique in this case? Well, Goose, I think it's so important. It's really important because the fact that he had described every victim to the T. Every victim to the T, he drew them exactly how they were, and they were able to match up pictures with them. They were able to identify these victims. And I don't know. I don't think I can remember who I talked to yesterday in casting. So I don't know. I found that very interesting for me. I don't know. Maybe Dylan might give another answer. But to me, there was just so many women that went missing. They couldn't find who they were or what had happened to them. And for him to do that was amazing. Have you done a podcast on John Wayne Gacy? I have not. He will be one of them on season 2, and it will be live. So at the end of this show, I am going to ask you guys to vote for next week's episode because Samuel Little's going to be pre-recorded. That one has a lot of things that I would like to discuss and show and places to show. So I can't, fortunately, do it live. So I'm going to ask you guys who would you like for next week's episode to be on. And I'm going to go full on the spot, discussing everything as I'm looking up information on the person because I think it's cooler that way. I think so. But you guys, any questions you may have tonight, I would love to answer. This is what season 2 is about. This is what I want to do now. I want to interact with you guys. I want you guys to tell me what you want. I want you guys to debate with me. I want you guys to bring up information that I might be like, I didn't know that. Espérate un momentito. Espérate. Actually, one of those memes like I'm just like, you were wrong. Actually, in 1985 and stuff. Hi El Paso. Emily, are you gonna do only serial killers? No. No, no, no. I want to expand. Yes, serial killers, yes. But shooters, mass shooters, even cases like, you know, the one that recent case, the Utah killer, that now he's quiet. He's pleading not guilty. So we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, please. You don't want me to debate with you, Carm. Hey, Brandon. Boricua to Boricua. You don't want to debate with me, okay? Get it together, Brandon, okay? Take it easy. Take it easy. Dylan's like, I want to see this. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. But yes, all of you guys that are on right now, questions, what you guys want to do. Dylan's going to be on the next 5 minutes. We're going to have Dylan come on and talk, come like whatever random shit we talk about, because that's what we do. That's what we do. So for now, you have 5 minutes to ask me questions. Where the Venmo link at? Oh, yes. Oh, Brandon. Taco flavored kisses. Taco, taco. How do you do the Venmo link? I don't even know. How is that even possible? I'm trying to think. How do you do that? How do you post a link? I don't know. Howdy. Okay, well, Goose, we'll figure that out because I'm confused. I feel like an old lady right now. I really do. I'm just like, where do you put this link? But yes, I'm going to put my Venmo link up so you guys can donate if you want for me to get more books. Just give the name tag. And, oh, I got a question. How did I get into true crime? I don't know. Maybe because my dad, you know, would have me be up at age 5 watching Tales from the Crypt or some true crime stuff at age 5. And I was just like, what's going on and what is this? And I'm curious. And because I'm fucking crazy and loca. No. What got me into true crime is everyone has trauma. Everyone has gone through something in their life that has like changed them to be either a better or worse person. And I've gone through a couple of things in my life that I realized, wow, like I understand what's going on with this. And I was just curious, always curious to understand what made a serial killer explode. What made this person be who they were? And when I would always go back to their childhood, there was always a pattern. It was they were abused. They were abandoned. They were sexually abused. It's all these things. And it was just like, okay, there's a pattern here. And I think no one is talking about it. And that made me more passionate to do True Crimerelli. The Cecil is open for people who are low income. So if you can't afford, if you have like, you know, food stamps or being helped by the government, you can live at the Cecil. But it's very dangerous. I mean, the last week, like 4 people got killed, shot. One jumped out the window. I don't know what's going on at the Cecil right now, but it's just not recommended to go in. I'll tell you that. So I'm trying to see how I can post it on here, but I'm trying to see. So my Venmo, guys, I'm gonna post it on the chat because I just don't know how to do this. I feel like an old lady right now, but it's this. Because I love you. And if you guys want to donate some money for me because I'm broke and poor, and anything that you guys give me will be donated to CRIMERELI, and all the donations go to you guys so I can like make more shows and stuff. Thanks. I love you guys. I love you more. Oh, I got a question. Tell us about your collaboration with Dylan Crowe on True Crimerelli. The reason why, and it's funny, Dylan's about to come on right now. This is a great way to present him in here. But the reason why Dylan is so important in the show is because he's like my partner in crime and serial killer. He has the brains. Like, this man knows about all the serial killers, everything. And it's like when me and him hang out and talk about true crime, Danny can be here and be like, bruh, shut up. Shut up. all night, all day. We'll be in the chats talking 24/7. It's just a never-ending conversation with him, and I think that he's amazing to have on and to spread knowledge that I don't even know about. And he has a very spiritual awareness, which I love as well, that we can always talk about. Evan! Yes! Evan's here! Thank you, Evan! So, yeah. And speaking of Dylan, whenever you're ready, you log on. You let me know. I'm bringing you in. Hop on, sir. Hop on. Hop on, Dylan. Oh, boy. Oh, he's got the beanie. Oh, that's creepy. That's some creep. I'm good. The power curtain. Oh, wrong book. Wrong. Sorry.
Wrong
How are
book, man. Wrong book.
We're here, man.
We're here.
It.
That's right.
Brandon's like, Father.
And my buddy.
That's crazy.
He's a vintage haunted clown that I bought.
I'm good. I'm good on the haunted clown. I don't know how I feel. Oh, we got questions. How do you feel about Richard's death anniversary coming up? Dylan, you want to go and answer that first, and then I'll answer?
Oh, how do I feel about it? Wow, just to think that it's, you said, I think, 10 years?
It's going to be 10 years next Wednesday.
To be honest, it feels like yesterday that we were sending letters to each other. Time has just flown by, and it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Like I said, when I was writing him in San Quentin, it always felt like he was just going to be there. And when he died, it was a shock to everybody. So it still is pretty shocking to this day to know that he's not there still. Yeah,
because it's crazy because it feels like he hasn't gone anywhere because people talk about him all the time.
That's true.
That's really crazy. So yeah, I mean, I can even imagine how you feel, the fact that you were able to write him. Right. And, have that communication with him. The fact that no one knew he was sick and he just out of nowhere passed away, that was shocking. And even to his family it was, because they didn't even know.
Yeah, for sure. And, he's so relevant in today's culture.
Yeah.
That I wonder what he'd think about all the documentaries, all the things concerning him that are out right now.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
I think he would have enjoyed them, to be honest. He would have loved the attention. Not gonna lie.
Probably.
He would have been like, okay, but this is bullshit, and this is bullshit. But yeah, for me, it's just, it's crazy. I've always kind of followed his case for a while now, and it's just crazy to think that it's been 10 years. And having known Dylan and the communication he had with him, and having known his family and what I know about them, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I feel some kind of way, but this is why I started this today's show with a reading from. If you don't have it, you should read it. You should read it. Let me see what everyone's saying here. Everyone's saying his ego would have hated ever. Brandon. Oh my goodness. So, Dylan.
Yeah.
How do you feel about being on True CRIMERELI Season 2 live on Instagram?
Good. Pretty good. I feel pretty good.
It was one of those evil smirks like.
No, I think this is a great new format to engage the audience, to get more people into your headspace of what you want to talk about, serial killer, not just serial killer, but true crime in general. I think you also want to open another door with whether talking about crime in Hollywood or any crime whatsoever. It doesn't necessarily have to be about serial killers. Yeah. And I think, of course, serial killers will probably be the foundation, but exploring other topics will be great as well. I love it.
Of course. I think that now that we're live, we have the opportunity to just talk about a lot of things, because there's a lot of crimes that happen in Hollywood no one talks about. There's a lot of crimes that happen on my street every fucking day that no one talks about. I can be like, hey, today I saw someone steal a bagel from someone else's hand, and I said, how dare you, and you're going to jail. But no one talks about it, but I'm about to talk about it.
That was a pigeon, Carm. That was a pigeon.
Damn, that was a big ass pigeon. I'm just saying.
But no, there are a lot of crimes obviously going on right now that are live in America. Serial killers out there that haven't been caught, people that have been caught. I mean, there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, there's a serial killer in Texas apparently. I just found out about this. That just got caught, killed like 6 people. And there's a serial killer that's been loose in Chicago for the longest, called the Chicago Strangler, and no one's been able to catch him to this day, which is weird with all the technology we have.
Right.
So that'd be interesting to talk about. But I was mentioning earlier that me and you had discussed about doing an episode on Samuel Little, because you have a lot of knowledge on Samuel Little. And I think, you wrote him?
I did. I didn't write him. At the time when he was captured, I was looking for his address. I couldn't find it online.
Oh, okay.
I didn't write him in particular, but I did get a collection of his stuff.
Oh, wow. So you have some of the drawings and stuff like that.
Yeah, which we'll show in the footage in our pre-recorded video.
That'd be exciting to see. And then you know a few spots that he used to be in.
Yeah, well, he was out here in the 80s, I believe. Not downtown LA so much, even though he would dip in here and there, but more South LA.
Yeah.
So there are at least 2 spots that I know of. I've never been there, but very interesting that South LA, also with the Grim Sleeper, who lives down there as well.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
That's interesting. I'm excited to actually go there. And it'll be the first time for the both of us then.
Right. Yeah. First time.
I'm excited. So what made you be... I know I answered my part. I think that for me, what was really interesting about Samuel Little was the fact that he remembered all these victims from photogenic memory. What about Samuel Little was interesting to you that you wanted to like, Carm, let's talk about Samuel Little.
Well, to be honest, the fact that he drew practically every victim he murdered, which is about 100 plus, I mean, that's just insane. Yeah. There's no serial killer that has quite that story to offer in the interviews that they had with the FBI and police. It's totally unique. Which also, it's really creepy to show how intense he was in the memory of his victims, whereas some serial killers can't even remember the name, or the FBI will show them photos of their victims and they can't even recognize them. Yeah. So it just goes to show the different psychology of serial killers, where one will remember everything down to what they wore, and another person will see them and they literally took their life and they don't even remember what they look like. Yeah. So it's really an interesting dynamic. But the drawings, of course, really fascinated me. Being an artist myself, I thought, wow, I've seen people that interested me being in LA. My mother used to take me around LA just to explore and see the landmarks and whatnot. Now I see some interesting person and I want to sketch them really quickly, just to capture that image or vibe of the person that I saw, which is very common for artists. So to see a serial killer artist, I mean, that's really wild.
Yeah.
That definitely intrigued me.
No, it's definitely intriguing, and it's just crazy to see. I know all of you are he's definitely an amazing artist for sure. I know you guys are on here, and I know Dylan's been, I think, like on 3 episodes in the first season or so. If you guys have any questions for Dylan, please go for it. But I also wanted to, let you guys know that Dylan is very, when it comes to like the spiritual side of things and like, look at that. My camera was thrown over and everything. That's the poison we're about to bring on this show, bitches. Anyways, uh, but you know, Dylan, you know, like I said before, when me and you get together and we talk, Danny just sits there and goes,
and talk and talk and talk.
and we talk, and the time goes by, and it's like we talk.
Yeah, we shut down businesses, man. Till
we stand outside of restaurants, and the people inside are like, and it's literally every time we do it.
Yeah.
Wait, I think we have a question. Wait. Oh, Dylan, what's it like being back on True Crimereli, according to Goose?
Feeling good.
Feeling good, man.
Feeling good. Like I said, there's so much to talk about. I think what we bring to the table is our own perspective on these crimes and people. Whereas on a lot of podcasts, they're really just relating the information and making a few comments. But we're like getting deeper into the subject matter. I think you were going to embark on that when what you're going to say a few minutes ago about the spirituality.
Yes.
There's a huge spiritual factor.
Yes.
That I personally bring to the table concerning true crime, as well as CRIMERELI has a passion for the childhood and how these serial killers were brought into this world and how that world not only affected them, but then in turn, as they grew older, they affected the world in their killing sprees. So I think it's two unique passions we both have, and when we bring them together, it makes for an interesting episode.
It does. Exactly. So, the darks. Dylan's already judging me. He's like, oh boy, here we go.
You get out of hand, I'm going to bring out Mr.
No!
Clown Man.
The power of Christ. Wait. The power of Christ compels you. Power of Christ compels you. Oh, wait. I think we have another question. Hold on. Do you know if Kenneth Bianchi, which is part of the Hillside Strangler, still receives or responds letters?
No, he doesn't.
No?
He's retired. I sent him a letter and he never got back to me. So I think it was in 2018 or 19 maybe he retired from accepting letters. BTK also retired from sending letters. I got one of his last letters, to be honest.
Wait, you wrote to BTK?
Yeah. I had one of his last letters. He went into retirement at the end of last year.
Yeah, show that letter sometime when we do BTK.
El Paso Nice says childhood can connect to religious belief that was placed on them by family. That's very true. Something that definitely affected Richard Ramirez, I believe.
110%, especially with him. Yes, for sure. Yeah, so Kenneth Bianchi is not writing anymore, guys. No. Sorry. I don't know who's still. Wait, who else? Oh, what was his name? Douglas?
Daniel Clark, yeah.
Douglas
Daniel Clark.
Douglas Daniel Clark is still around and writing.
But he's not writing too much anymore. He's really old. He's blind in one eye. They're moving the death row prisoners off of death row in San Quentin and moving them to other death row areas in different prisons around California. So a lot of them have packed up all their stuff and they're just waiting to leave. And they're not really in the position to be writing people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So did Ramirez have friends when he was on the streets? Ramirez was a loner, but when he did some of the crimes, he didn't do them by himself. So that's all I gotta say for that. When we do the episode on things that went horribly wrong in the trial and the kangaroo court of Richard Ramirez, there'll be more of that coming in. Don't you worry, because I got a lot to say about that. And that's what I said. And the camera's gonna fall over. And I get all passionate. Wait, Goose, who's DDK? I'm confused. Kangaroo, that's right. It's a facade. It's a sham. I was railroaded. Yes. So, Dylan, what is the most exciting part for this season? What do you want to like tell people? What do you want to spread awareness of?
Well, I think if we can touch base on things about these people that will help us in our personal life, or in a person's immediate circle, meaning maybe family or friends, if they spot signs or psychological problems that they see or are experiencing, that possibly through these podcasts, as we talk about them, they will be able to either help somebody or help themselves.
Yeah.
Of course, these serial killers are in an extreme fashion of corrupted psychology. I'm not saying everybody that's watching is, but at the small degree upon which we experience stress, family problems, work problems, if we can learn from these tragedies in history and apply that to ourselves in the more low-grade stress and trauma that we face, I think it's a good way to spread awareness and hopefully be some kind of a psychological help to others.
Well, and you're absolutely correct, Dylan. And the thing is, like, I don't know what it is about people, but they make true crime be like a taboo thing. And like, it's like, no, why is it a taboo to talk about these people's childhood?
Right.
You know, because everyone has gone through trauma. There is not one person on this planet Earth that can tell me face to face and be like, unless you're like literally brand new baby born, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I have no trauma. You're lying. You're a liar. So that is why I feel a lot of people connect to true crime, connect to these certain cases, because they're like, oh my God, I know what that feels like. I mean, I don't know what it feels to kill somebody, and I hope I don't want to. That's not the point.
Yeah.
But it's their childhood. Like, why did they go through that? You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. They only want to say what they did and never talk about, well, because they think that's the part that sells. You know, Becca, that's the only part that for them, that's the part that makes money, because they think that people care about that. But when you start to dissect from when they were kids to, like, you're like, oh, like, it opens up rabbit holes.
That's right.
You know, so for the new season, will there be a serial killer that the public haven't heard of before? There's a lot of serial killers that a lot of people don't know about. Yeah. And the goal for me, and hopefully for Dylan, is to talk about these people.
I think El Paso Night in the chat had mentioned about school shooters. I mean, that's definitely something that's affecting the psychology of our country, America.
Yeah.
And that's something we could definitely tap into. I think the pressures of family, the pressures of society, the bullying, not to give a pass for school shooting whatsoever, but
no, not at all.
These are things I think everybody deals with at some kind of level in their life, whether it's pressures of work, a boss, a parent, a family, you know, putting the element on their shoulder of being, well, you know, you need to get a job, you need to make money, and blah, 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 and lots of stress.
Yeah.
And I think more than any time before, people are stressed out, especially with the yeah, exactly. Especially with the economy and everything going on, people are stressed. We turn on the news and we're seeing people act crazy.
It's insane, yeah.
Because they've had all the stress that they can take, and they just bump into somebody on the street and they just unload on them. So yeah. I think it's very important.
Well, also don't forget social media.
Oh yeah.
Social media has become such a leeway for mental illness. You have no idea. It's insane. Yeah. Like the amount of mental illness in this country has blown out of proportions, and I really blame it on social media and the media culture that it is now.
I'd have to agree with that. I mean, just aside from the stress factor, just human interaction amongst people.
Yeah.
I know that people are having a really hard time in the dating scene. I'm married, of course, so I don't know nothing about that. But from what I hear, you know, people just don't know how to interact with each other.
No.
And, you know, I think the idea of being around certain types of people is for likes and pictures and to show, you know, who you are and who you're hanging out with. And I think the genuine quality of just meeting somebody and becoming friends in the real world is something that's kind of missing today.
Yeah.
And it's definitely changing the psychology of humanity as a whole, I believe.
You know, I've heard people say, well, social media has been a way to connect with other people. And you're like, you know what? I'll give you that. You can meet people around the world that, I mean, I've met some wonderful people like El Paso, like people that are, you know, they're not here. And I can talk to these people. They're wonderful people.
For sure.
But at the same time, now what I've noticed is that people, when, like you said, when it comes to dating and relationships, it's like people are always wanting more because they feel like they can get it now with social media. So they don't ever want to be serious with anyone. And then also the validation of how you look. And if you don't look a certain way, you are starving yourself. You're depriving yourself to look. And it's like, that's where I'm telling you, like, the older I get, social media for me is crap. It's a waste of my time. But it's also great for CRIMERELI because I'm here for you guys. That's what it is. So 2 + 2 don't equal potatoes sometimes, but I'll make it work. We're balancing.
Well, yeah, we're fighting the good fight against all the crud out there.
Yeah. So for you guys out there that are watching right now, thank you so much for watching, you guys. You're awesome. Yes, Danny, I agree. Potatoes and social media has been misused. I agree 110%. The queen has spoken. The queen, Danny, has spoken. Anyways, I'm back. For all of you out there, the potatoes. I love this. I'm going to make a t-shirt that says True CRIMERELI and I like potatoes at the bottom. 2 potatoes. Like 2 + 2 don't equal potatoes. That's it.
My buddy Carnival Risque, he says, but we have to do it as entrepreneur artists. I think that's so true. You know, we really have to get out there as independent people and not be a slave to the system and to government and to all of this junk that is perpetually keeping us down. We have to speak our voice out individually and coming together like we are in True CRIMERELI and just offering something different than what the propaganda machine is spewing 24 hours a day.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Emily says, did you hear about the cat torture videos in China? I did not, and I don't want to see that.
That's old.
I don't want to see that, but I want to know who's doing it so I can put them on the spot. Thanks. Your pig painting is one of my favorites.
Thanks, man. Thank you. I'll have to post that one up again.
The amount of, it's on social media. It's crazy. I've seen a lot of true crime community like pages get banned, but I see a lot of half-assed naked women showing their titties and boob stuff, and it's fine. So I'm just like, get? So that's social media for you. That's social media for you. But for you guys who are watching right now, me and Dylan want to know. We need votes. We need votes, guys. So pay attention. Who do you guys want me and Dylan to make an episode live next Thursday of? And
let's get a vote in the chat.
I need a vote in the chat, guys. Goose, get? You should do a poll in your stories. I'm also going to do a poll in my chat. It's just easier on the spot. Okay, we got one. Kenneth Bianchi.
And then we had Bianchi and Gacy, I think have been said. So
Richard Chase. Oh, I love Richard Chase case. Actually, Danny, you're pretty much on point. Might do that. Oh,
Okay,
there's two
two
for
for
Gacy.
Gacy.
Two for Gacy. Ah! 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 Oh, there's three for Gacy.
Oh, man.
Two for Richard Chase. Oh, yeah, there's three Gacy. Okay. The Australian killer, Ivan Milat. I've not heard of him, and I'm going to look him up now. Jody. Jody will be interesting to do. I haven't done Jody.
Jody. Arias.
And he's like, Richard. Oh, we got a tie. Richard Chase or Gacy. Someone's got to break it. Wait, are we doing it to 5? What's the number, Dylan?
And Casey Anthony. For a later episode.
There's one for Casey. But we got 3 Richards and 3 Gacy. Casey. Can't talk right now. Come on, guys. Who's going to jump in? Roll the drums. Oh, we got 4 Richard Chase.
Whoever gets to 5
right.
first. I think.
Whoever gets to 5. Albert Fish.
Albert Fish.
Oh.
Albert Fish. Oh, Gacy's got.
Tied.
It's a tie again. It's a tie. Our live edition. You know that's going to happen, Stebner, somehow. It's going to happen somehow. John Jacob Jingerheimer Smith. That's my name. Wherever we go out, the people always shout, there's John Jacob. Okay, I'm done. Dylan's like, what did I get myself into right now?
Don't make me break out the clown, man.
No.
Freddy Krueger.
I mean, can we even talk about Freddy Krueger?
We can
CRIMERELI?
talk about horror slashers inspired by
I can do that.
serial killers.
Jason
We
Voorhees.
could have Brandon on that episode.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know if I'm scared of Brandon on online. He's gonna roast me a new one. Oh man, I need a tie, guys. We got a tie right now. Richard Chase or Gacy. Someone's got to break it. We got one more. Someone's got to break the tie. Who's gonna win? But and we're waiting. So not everyone's just quiet. You're all just motherfucking quiet. They're just like, who's gonna break this tie? Oh, Gacy!
Okay.
Gacy's the winner. Bring out the clown, Dylan. Oh my God, Gacy. All right, guys. So next week's episode.
That was Brandon on his other account. Look at that guy.
Well, El Paso say Gacy too.
All right.
All right, guys. First time watching, you folks are awesome. Thank you guys so much. You guys, thank you, Carnival. You're amazing. Gacy inspired Black Phone. Wait, no, was it Gacy?
A little bit. I think it was both inspired by Gacy and William Bonin. Out here in Downey, by the way, where his house is. So we'll have to check that out sometime.
We'll have to do that. We'll have to do that. That'd be awesome. So next week's episode, Thursday, it's going to be John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown, because that man was scary as fuck. That's him and Ted Bundy are the ones that I'm just like, when I talk about him, I'm like, I get the hibba-jibba-jibbas. So we'll talk. Well, we got a question. Hold on a second. We'll answer that in a second. But that's next week's episode. What about the Golden State Killer? We got you. We'll talk about him too, because there's a connection between him and Richard Ramirez, by the way. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, next week, John Wayne Gacy, we're gonna talk about him. We'll be live with it. We'll be on the spot. So whatever questions you guys have, whether it could be about him, spirituality, whatever he went through, we're gonna be talking on the spot. So that's it for next week for sure. As far as the question that I got for Dylan, it was favorite fictional serial killer from cinema.
Very interesting. Fictional serial killer. Oh man, it's gonna have to be Michael Myers, man. Of course.
Yeah, gotta go with the Michael Myers, man.
Got it.
You gotta go with the Mike Myers. Gotta go with the Mike Myers. Yeah, guys. So time is up for us. We love you, and this was the first great episode for True CRIMERELI Season 2. I am excited how this is gonna go. I'm pretty excited. Dylan, are you excited?
I'm excited.
I'm excited with the clown and shit. But you guys are awesome. I will see you next Thursday for John Wayne Gacy episode live. And yeah, I'm gonna post this up on my page so you guys can watch this. So every episode will be posted on my page. You guys can, watch it. I don't even know if you can save it, and I'm also gonna post it on YouTube so you guys can have it there as well. So I love you guys. Have a good night. Stay evil in a good way. And bye.